I've been watching it my whole life. I was a massive stand-up nerd when I was a kid, but for some reason I didn't even realize it. I don't know, like I wouldn't have said that back then, but Comedy Central used to do these marathons of Comedy Central Presents, and when I knew that was happening, I would like run home from the bus and just sit there and watch like 10 of them in a row. And then my mom bought me a Bill Cosby album. Great comedian, on and off stage. Please know I'm kidding. He's a nightmare, and I'm glad he's getting what's coming to him. I do mean that. All right. I like Cosby and Richard Pryor and Carlin, and then I'm such a stand-up nerd that my friend and I made everyone in our limo going to prom watch Patton Oswalt's first special, and we watched Robert Schimmel's first HBO special on the way back. Yeah, dude.
You were a nerd.
He's such a fucking nerd. So yeah, I kind of always knew I always loved it, but never realized I wanted to do it because it seemed impossible. And then at some point, I just did it. The feeling when I first performed stand-up, I mean, it was a waking nightmare. I wanted to die. I drank. It was at the end of a music open mic in Fresno, California. I had written 5 minutes of material about how Gary Coleman is Jesus. It was a very clever turn, I thought, because Jesus was obviously short and black because he lived in the equator 2,000 years ago. It was so funny, loved it. I was so nervous that I worried about it for the whole day, and then when I got there, I must have taken 10 shots of Jack Daniels before I did my set, maybe more. And I don't really remember a lot of it, but I do remember that a woman got mad that I said Gary Coleman was Jesus, and I said, "Hey, nice shirt." That's how I got her back. Yeah, it was awful. Yeah, that's it. That's my answer. It was bad. Dave Chappelle killing him softly. I've listened to that album so many times, and I found it when I was in college, I think, which is weird because it had been out for a minute and I had known about him, but I don't know, when I found it, I just listened to it like every day. So yeah, I mean, the older ones, that one. You know, actually, one of the albums that made me think I could do stand-up was Werewolves and Lollipops from Patton Oswalt, because that album is about, the whole album is him just shitting on popular America. He just and I grew up going to punk shows, and I felt like, I don't know, very beta, very bullied, very much like not a part of this American man shit, not tough, and it felt like you had to be that to be confident or cool or anything. And to hear this guy just talking about his life and being like, fuck that bullshit, I'm liberal and I fucking love it, and I don't know, fuck, fried food and cheese and cars and apple pie, and the whole album is that. And so that album holds a really special place in my heart. But now I am continually inspired by Maria Bamford, mostly. She's like my favorite comedian. Everything she puts out is better than the last. And also Rory Scovel and Kyle Kinane right now are probably the two up. Man, there are a bunch. There are comics in LA that are my friends that I do shows with that the world is yet to find out about. Like, man, Steph Tolev. Every time I see Steph Tolev do a set, I'm like, how is this happening? This is incredible. Deborah DiGiovanni, Ryan Singer, Dave Waite. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's like you start. When I was a kid, it was these huge people, and then when I started comedy, it was the people that were like getting big in comedy, and now it's really just my friends, like Chris Charpentier of Los Angeles, California. You might have seen him do stand-up on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and we kiss. Not many things make me laugh harder than Veep. Veep is like a perfect comedy TV show. I also, I still rewatch 30 Rock every now and then. The first few seasons of 30 Rock are just amazing. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I actually don't watch a lot of comedy movies that come out anymore. I would probably like them, but I mean, the first one I think of is Tommy Boy. I watched the shit out of Tommy Boy. I've seen it so many times. Everything Chris Farley was in. I'm trying to think if there's something else contemporary that really, yeah, I think it's Veep. I think Veep is my favorite TV show. Sketch show, I mean, honestly, I'm a sucker for sketch, basically all sketch. But yeah, Key and Peele's amazing, Chappelle Show's amazing. But I think my favorite of all time is The State, especially the first couple seasons. Because the later seasons were good, but they got really weird. And it's not as straightforward jokes, but man, the first 2 or 3 seasons of The State, perfect sketch comedy. I would pick Chris.
Oh, that's great.
Seriously.
What a dream. I
think I would pick Rory Scovel too. No, that's not true. Maria Bamford. But here's the thing. Maria is so fucking awesome that she only brings women on the road with her. And I think that that's amazing. I mean,
Best-selling would be my other.
Best-selling, yes. Oh, that would be great.
She'd be great.
Rory, Maria, Beth would be great. I would really love to open for Deborah DiGiovanni. Well, anywhere but in Canada, because she's been like, she was one of those comics that was in Canada forever. And she's literally like sells out theaters there and comes here and does tiny rooms. And really any tour she did, because she's like that. She's just so special, it's different every night. But partially I would love to open for her. Also we're friends and she's the nicest. If you get anything from this interview, take away that you should watch Deborah DiGiovanni stand up. But I would just love to see her in the element of like 1,000 people who are her fans, because I've never seen that before. Well, I wouldn't like to get roasted by anyone. I don't want to get my feelings hurt. 5 comedians dead or alive to roast me. Well, okay. Honestly, most of them are going to be my friends, because those are the best people to get roasted by. I would love for Chris, who seems to not like me much. Sorry, bud.
It's okay.
Love you. You don't love me. Chris, we're really good friends and we live together. And like, I mean, you know, he knows how I shit weird or whatever. Actually, why would he know that?
I don't know.
Barbara Gray, Jake Weissman, Matt Ingebretson. And there are actually other friends I prefer, but I'm going to pick and Don Rickles. I would absolutely love to be roasted by Don Rickles. That seems like a nightmare. Sam Talent, I should have put on that list too.
Yeah, he's a son of a bitch.
Sam is just he's so good at being mean and making you love him. You know who else should be on the list? Wes Van Horn in Birmingham. God damn, he's one of those people that's just, you just love him while he's being a dick to you. We were in an Uber with him. I don't even know if I can't say it. He was literally threatening the life of the Uber driver, and the Uber driver was laughing the entire time.
He was loving it.
Stand-up's the top. Everything all the other types of comedy I love too. But there's always a part of me when I'm doing them that I'm like, hope this helps crowds come out to stand up. And acting's second, and it's totally because it's closest to stand up. That's interesting. I don't know really. I mean, it's hard to say. I know that I will. I mean, if you're, you never know with stand-up is the thing. Ideally, in 5 years, I will be. You know what? I'm pretty close to where I want to be. I'm just not there with making a living at stand-up, and so that's where I would like to be. But really, the goal is to just get really good at stand-up, and then everything else comes, right? So 5 years from now, what I would like would be to be the greatest stand-up comedian of all time, and for everyone else to think that. I'm the same thing everywhere too. Dave to the Ross, DaveTotheRoss on Twitter, Instagram, DaveTotheRoss@gmail.com. You know, email me, book me in your town. Solo, that tour. Oh man, I just want people to have fun. Because like, having fun is that's the reason I like stand-up more than the other. It's stand-up when it's at its best is pure fun. You feel it, the audience feels it. So I really, and also the world is like straight up fucked. I would like people to have a break from that. That's what I want. Hey, what's up? Dave Ross here. I think you should check out my interview on acutiepie.com and no one else's interview on that website.